What's going on, everyone? In today's video, I want to take a look back at what the Miami Marlins did during last year's trade deadline. So we all know the Miami Marlins are a very young team. They are in full tank mode. Last year, they traded off pieces like Jazz Chisholm, a now struggling Brian De La Cruz, Tanner Scott, AJ Puck, and other names just to name a few. But the Marlins, in return of these guys, I wanted to look at them today. I want to look at all the prospects that they brought in, how they are flourishing, because honestly, in my opinion, the Marlins were the clear winners of last year's trade deadline. They got intense value out of some players that probably weren't that much when it came to the trades. But before we get into that, make sure to subscribe to the channel for more baseball content if you like baseball as much as me. Make sure to like the video and comment down below some of your thoughts about this Marlins trade deadline of 2024 and possibly what they can do coming up in a few months here in 2025. So first of all, we are going to take a look at their prospect rankings for this year. And I'm going to be looking over to my other monitor to name the trades that they did, which it's honestly pretty crazy. So they added 9 prospects ranked in Miami's top 30. They added Robbie Snelling, who is currently number 8th. They added Adam Mazur, who is currently ranked 13th in their top 30. Connor Norby, who is in the big leagues, we'll get to in a second. Agustin Ramirez, we'll get to in a second, but he's ranked number 4th. They got him in the Jazz Chisholm move. Davison De Los Santos, we'll be talking about him as well. He's now ranked 12th in their top 30. Jun Suk Shim is not in their top 30, along with Garrett Forrester. Jared Cerna, he is number 15th. Graham Pauley in the big leagues. Wilfredo Lara is not in there. Andrew Pintar is down here at 29th. Abraham Ramirez, Kyle Stowers, who's in the big leagues we are going to be talking about in a few seconds. Will Schoenberg, Jay Bashirs, and a player to be named later or just cash. The Marlins got a haul of deals for prospects. They traded the likes of Tanner Scott, Jazz Chisholm Jr., Josh Bell, Brian De La Cruz, Trevor Rogers, AJ Puck, Huascar Brazoban, J.T. Schwargo, and Brian Hoeing. So when I'm looking at what they gave up, the key trade we are actually going to be looking at today is the one for Trevor Rogers. So let's get into that one really quick. So for Trevor Rogers, who is currently in AAA for the Baltimore Orioles, he has yet to pitch for the Orioles this season. They got Kyle Stowers and Connor Norby, who were top prospects in the Orioles organization. So in my opinion, this was a crazy overpay for Trevor Rogers, but this is a masterclass of a move by the Marlins front office, who honestly gets a lot of slack, which I think it's deserved, but they are a rebuilding team. Kyle Stowers has been clicking so far this season. Here's a Savant page, and some of these Savant page, a lot of their stats aren't even qualified yet just because they don't have enough at-bats, so we are going to just be looking at their stats over here, but Kyle Stowers, though, he has enough stats to be qualified in this. Barrel rate, 95th. Launch angle sweet spot percentage, 96. XWOBA, 91st. X batting average, 91st. X slugging, 88th. He is in the great percentiles when it comes to his hitting. Base running and fielding, not so much. He does have a strikeout percentage of 27.4, a whiff rate of 34.4, chase percentage 28.8, nearing the 50th, and a squared up of an 11th percentile. But other than that, he's having a solid average exit velocity. He's in the 64th at a 90%. A barrel rate, very solid, hard hit. He is hitting the ball hard. His bat speed has been very good. And in return, his stats look like this. A 321 average, a 387 OBP, a 541 slugging, and a 928 OPS. 6 home runs, 2 stolen bases, 35 hits, all in 109 at-bats, 124 plate appearances. So already, the Marlins have won the trade. Kyle Stowers looks to be one of the key pieces that the Marlins can use if they're still rebuilding, hopefully not in there if you're a fan of the Marlins, to flip again, or this is a guy you can build the franchise possibly around and add to a young core. So far, very good trade. Connor Norby was the other piece involved in the Trevor Rogers deals, and compared to Stowers, he's kind of the second in line of the best part of that deal. When it comes to Connor Norby, his key tool is the speed. He ranks in the 88th percentile, 28.6%. And here's what I was talking about. He doesn't even qualify in a lot of these stats. Right now, only 54 ABs, 57 plate appearances. He has slash line of 222, 263 on base percentage, a 333 slugging, and a 596 OPS. This, however, last year with Baltimore and Miami, he hit 236, 294, 438, and 732. So an OPS around probably like 650 to 700 can be there. You want to see more out of him. He hit 9 home runs last year, only 3 stolen bases for that type of sprint speed. He's definitely going to do a lot more, I would presume. It's kind of weird. He has a fast sprint speed, base running value, not really there. Batting run value hasn't been there this year. He has expected batting average of 205. He is outperforming that with a 222. So he's projecting to be a worse hitter, according to Baseball Savant, which is very subjective for a lot of fans, than his actual stats. So I do believe in Connor Norby. Could he be a guy that gets some more seasoning down in the minors? Sure. But with the Marlins, they're in a situation where you kind of just want to let these guys sink or swim, I would say, in the majors. But overall, the Trevor Rogers deal, amazing. So the Yankees gave up Agustin Ramirez, one of their top catching prospects, for Jazz Chisholm. And when it was rumored that the Marlins were getting rid of Jazz Chisholm, there were rumors about the Pirates were involved. They were asking for Henry Davis or an Endy Rodriguez. And it makes sense now that the Marlins were looking to get a catcher. And I think they got the best option at catcher because Henry Davis hasn't been looking good for the Pirates as a fan. But when it comes to Agustin Ramirez, he has been really solid in my opinion to start out. He has just kind of taken the league kind of by storm in this last couple weeks. 43 at-bats, 45 total plate appearances. He already has 3 homers, a slash line of 233, 267, 558, and an 825 OPS. The defense so far hasn't really been that. It has a blocks above average for a catcher of a 10th percentile, -3, a CS above average of -2, framing, pop time's been good. He has a pop time of 2 seconds. Bat speed, however, good so far. Hard hit, pretty good. Barrel, pretty good. He's kind of just the perfectly average hitter, but he can hit some nukes if he really wants to. I think these were in Seattle, if I'm not mistaken, for him. He ranks as their 4th best prospect. They already called him up. Good on the Marlins to do that. Like I said with Norby, it's basically sink or swim. He's 23 years old. He's getting big league experience. There's a certain team that I'm a fan of, the Pittsburgh Pirates, that will not call up prospects until they are like, it is time. They won't let them sink or swim. And I'll give the Marlins all the credit of just bringing these guys up and getting them all the experience that they can, because this guy was just traded last year to the Miami Marlins, and he's already getting the big league experience. So good on the Marlins for doing this. I liked this trade a lot for them. Jazz Chisholm, it's a win-win, I think, for both sides. Moving on very briefly, I do want to talk about Graham Pauley. He was a piece of the Tanner Scott trade to the San Diego Padres. So basically, the Padres, for Tanner Scott and half a season of him, gave up a very large prospect haul that honestly, I don't think I would have done. But Graham Pauley, it was basically a win-now move. I'll give them all the credit in the world. But Graham Pauley is the third baseman right now for the Miami Marlins. 61 ABs this year, 66 plate appearances. Right now, he's batting 230, 262, 311, and a 573 OPS. He hasn't really been doing the best this year, I would say. 0 home runs, 14 hits, and basically that's all. He only has 2 career home runs. But his fielding is his calling cards. 84th percentile for him, a 75 fielding run value in the percentile. It's kind of like Norby. Norby's calling card so far with the Marlins has been his speed. When it comes to Graham Pauley, it's been the fielding. Who knows? Maybe Graham Pauley could become a very sneaky like Gold Glove guy. I know they have that utility Gold Glove. That would be a win for the Marlins. I would love to see his bat get above, like, better than what it is. His expected stat is, or his batting average that is 227. His current average is 230. So he's kind of around that range. His expected slugging 319, 311 actual. Overall, he's been average. He's not really lighting the world on fire like a Kyle Stowers is and an Agustin Ramirez. So in return for AJ Puk, who is currently on the injured list for the Arizona Diamondbacks, the Diamondbacks gave up Davison De Los Santos, who was a very well-touted infield prospect within that organization. Whenever they traded him, there were fans on social media that were upset that they got rid of Davison De Los Santos. So far, for AAA Jacksonville, 31 games, 117 ABs, 14 runs, 32 hits, 4 doubles, a triple, 3 homers, 15 ribbies, 10 walks. He has struck out 41 times, but here's his slash line. 274 batting average, a 328 OBP, a 402 slugging, a 730 OPS. Davison De Los Santos looks like, so far, he can be a very solid third baseman for the Miami Marlins and their overall future of the organization. Right now, when I go back to the top prospects, he only ranks 12th. His ETA right now for the Marlins is this year. He is 21 years old, by the way, everyone. He is a very young guy. When I look at the Marlins' top 10 prospects before him, Thomas White, 20. Starlin Caba, 19. Noble Meyer, 20. Agustin Ramirez, 23. He is the oldest one in their top 10. The oldest one. Andrew Salas, PJ Morlando, Dylan Head, Robbie Snelling, Joe Mack, Carter Johnson, Kemp Alderman, and then Davison De Los Santos. 21 years old. The oldest guy in that range, Agustin Ramirez, 23. The Marlins overall, as we move on from Davison De Los Santos here, I think he's going to be really good for them. And I think he is the third baseman or first baseman, because he can play both, possibly, of their future. Honestly, like if I had to be honest, I think he has that potential. But overall, will these guys all pan out? I hope so for the Marlins' sake. I think Kyle Stowers has the best potential, probably followed by a Davison De Los Santos and the Agustin Ramirez's of the world. But if you're the Marlins and you're a Marlins fan, you honestly got to be loving what you're seeing, especially out of a Kyle Stowers right now and an Agustin Ramirez. Hopefully Norby, Graham Pauley can figure it out. Hopefully Davison De Los Santos lights the world on fire when he comes to the major leagues. And with the Marlins, with another trade deadline coming up, they still have a Sandy Alcantara. Maybe a Jesus Sanchez gets moved. Edward Cabrera rumors have always been floating around. So if you're the Marlins, I think a lot more good prospects are on the way. And honestly, they are outperforming how I thought they were going to do this year. The Marlins right now are still a bad team, but I don't think they're as bad as a lot of people have been thinking. Thank you all for watching this video. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you like baseball just like me and if you like the video. Make sure to like the video down below and make sure to comment down below as well what your thoughts are about this trade deadline of 2024 that the Marlins had. What are your examinations of it? Thank you all for watching. Have a good one.